For our next guest on Taco Talk, we have someone who is a horror fanatic as well as a Disney fan. We have Uriel. Uriel, welcome to our next episode of Taco Talk. How are you doing today?
Thank you. Good.
That's amazing to hear.
Yeah.
So tell us about the spot that we're at. Where are we? This is the first time I'm here.
So I brought you to Mariachi's Tacos with 3 S's. Make sure you get that right.
3 S's.
This is one of my new favorite spots. So
Okay.
I recently discovered this. They used to have a food truck, and they recently opened their brick and mortar.
Sweet.
And this is one of the few places where I want to try everything on the menu because everything that so far has been so good.
All right then.
So that's why I brought you here, because there's very few places. You know, you have those places where you get the same thing because you know that's
gonna be good.
That's gonna be good. And this one I've tried multiple things and everything has been delicious. Un papa con chorizo.
Papa con chorizo. Do you want that on corn or flour?
On flour.
Okay.
Bean and bacon crispy. And la carne guisada.
I'll do a carne guisada also with cheese. And then I'll also do a bean and cheese and bacon.
Bean, cheese, and bacon. Did you want the bacon strip?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Awesome. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then can I get a Coke?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you want a cup of ice with that?
Yes, please.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If you had the last order of tacos, where are you getting it from and what is it going to be?
Ooh, okay, so my favorite taco place is Los Laureles because it's where I've been going since I was a little kid.
Yes.
So it would probably be there, and it would definitely be bean and bacon, extra crispy. A papa con chorizo, which is it's what I always get. Papa chorizo, bean and bacon crispy, and a carne guisada with extra salsa. Like, that's what I'm getting. Yeah.
Nice. Going through your Instagram feed as well as your TikTok feed and everything, you are a huge Disney and horror fan. I know I
Yes.
talked about it in the intro. Tell me a little bit about that. What got you into those types of things?
So since I was born, when my parents immigrated here from Mexico, and I was born, like, to them, they always saw Disney as like the American dream. So since I was born, my bedroom was Mickey Mouse. My first dog's name was Mickey. Like, everything was like Disney. And then growing up with my siblings and everything, they would always buy us like the newest movie on VHS and like everything, because to them that was like them giving us the best that there is here.
It represented something.
So it kind of instilled that in me, and so I always say like Disney was just like meant to be for me.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm such a huge Disney fan, obviously, and also like the fantasy of like all the magical. You know, it's like an escape from reality.
Right.
And then horror, I actually got into because of my stepdad. So again, it's like from parents to parents. When I was older, because my parents didn't let me watch horror movies when I was young. You know, Mexican parents aren't really into the like scary stuff. Yeah. Unless they're gonna use it to make you behave, you know.
Exactly.
But my dad, he's from here. My stepdad, he's from here, and I remember it was American Werewolf in Paris.
Oh yeah.
Was the very first horror movie
Yeah.
I saw. And he was like, I'm tired of y'all being scared of everything. Sit down, y'all are gonna watch it. And it was me and my brother, and we were terrified. But after that, I mean, when I tell you I used to be scared of like movies that weren't even scary up to that point. And so, I don't know, after that it was like, we loved it.
Yeah.
So we were just like super into it. And I always say those are like my two personalities. I'm like the Disney, the cutesy Disney, fun loving, and then like the hardcore horror, like I just love it.
What's your favorite, scary movie?
My favorite scary movie, that's so hard. Honestly, my favorite I always say is Poltergeist, which is a surprise for people because they expect like the slashers.
Yeah.
But Poltergeist for me like holds up all the time. But my favorite like horror franchise icon, Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger is my number one. I got to meet Robert Englund, and I was starstruck. I couldn't speak.
How was that?
It was at a con, so it was very like fast.
Oh, okay.
And it was funny because my husband, we met Demi Lovato, which is his favorite artist. And I remember when we met her, he couldn't speak, and I was like, I had to talk for him, and I was like, what's wrong with you? Like, why did you? And then when I met Robert Englund, it happened to me, and he made fun of me so much, and he was like, go ahead, tell him how much you love him, and blah blah blah. And it was cool because right before me, the person that he was signing the autograph for, he did the Freddie voice for, and so that's what I walked into. So I think that was why I was kind of like, because he like had just done the Freddie voice, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Starstruck.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, as far as the Disney aspect goes, what's your favorite Disney movie?
The Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid.
Yeah, Little Mermaid. Since I was little, that's been my number
Go-to.
one favorite movie. When obviously when we were younger, my parents didn't afford tickets to Disneyland or Disney World, so I went pretty recent. I want to say maybe like 8 years ago, maybe something like that was my first time. And when I met the Ariel, I mean, I was like sobbing because it was like something I had dreamt of since I was a little kid.
Healing the inner child. That's
Like
for sure.
literally, like
That's for sure.
like I was like. My husband proposed to me that same trip, and I cried more when I met Ariel. And like I will never hear the end of it. People were like, "You cried like way more."
Baby,
yes,
yeah.
like literally, I just like became a child. Like the whole time I was fine. As soon as I walked up to her, like I literally just became this little kid. It was crazy.
Absolutely. Sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Aside from what you do on social media, how did all that begin for you? Like, how did, getting into the world of content creating, digital creating, how did that start for you?
It kind of, I remember I signed up for Instagram, like, I think when it first started, and I would just like post pictures with friends. And then I think what it was discovering something called Disney bounding, which is because when you go to the parks, you're not allowed to wear costumes as adults, kids are. So people discovered a way to make outfits by like color blocking and matching characters, which is called Disney bounding, or just like using pieces that you can kind of tell who it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And so I discovered that, and I discovered this community, so I started to do it and post pictures, and it just kind of took off. And then I would also post my collection because I'm a huge collector of things that I don't need all the time.
I've seen it in your backdrop.
I borderline hoarder, you know what I mean? I can't say no to things sometimes, but I would post my collections, and I would post that, and it just kind of happened on its own. I didn't even know what it was, it was just kind of like people are following along and commenting and liking what I'm doing, and then it was very organic. And still, I try to be very organic, when it comes to my content creating.
I think that resonates with people a lot. That raw, just uncut, being who you are. I think that definitely resonates. And with that, I mean, it does come the hate, stuff like that.
Yes.
But how do you deal with, that type of thing? Just do you read the comments? Do you not read the comments? Like, what does that entail for you?
I know they always say don't read the comments, but it's kind of hard. I'm like one of those people that can't deal with notifications.
Yeah.
And so it's hard not to read them.
Yeah.
I usually don't let them get to me. I have pretty thick skin. There has been one time where they really, really just got under my skin, and I just had to take a break. But I think it's so important to talk about it, right? Because especially social media, I think people see this facade of oh, your life is perfect. You're always, so happy, and I think it's important to show that, we're also dealing with all these people that are telling us we shouldn't exist, you know, just because we're wearing what we're wearing, or we like what we like, or whatever. So I remember when that happened, I did post a video, and people were surprised, and I was the world is still scary.
Yeah, definitely.
As a queer person, as a brown person, as somebody who doesn't normally fit the mold, especially in the areas that I like to create content in.
Yeah.
It's just kind of I have a big target on my back.
Yeah.
But I will gladly take anything, to be that seen person for somebody else that maybe thinks that there's nobody out there like them.
Yeah, opening the doors for them.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I definitely don't see a lot of people like me in those communities all the time.
Right.
And I get messages all the time from people and from parents who are like, you know, my kid sees you and they love you and
beautiful.
like you inspire them, and it's like I'm just being me, you know, and I will continue to be me. That way, they know that they can be them.
So, for somebody who doesn't know what Carolina's Antiques are, what's the best way you can describe it?
So, well, this is the thing. So, Carolina's Antiques started off as an antique store that also carried a lot of like our Mexican culture, and we've always intertwined that into everything that we do, and we always will. And then when me and my brother started getting a hold of everything, then we started bringing in more things, like our T-shirts and our this and that. And so when the pandemic happened, obviously nobody was buying antiques. We couldn't go into people's houses to buy antiques because everybody, I mean, was obviously, you couldn't be around people.
Right.
So then like me and my brother took over with all the things that we like to do. So then Carolina's became what it is now, which it's now local artists, it's Mexican artisans, a lot of pop culture referencing. So there's like no antiques at Carolina's anymore. So then people started coming in, they're like, well, where's the antiques? You must have antiques. So we opened a second location, which now I think we're going on 2 years. And it's literally a block down from Carolina's. And that's where all our antiques are. And my mom and my dad run that one.
Nice.
So, and then they still have a lot of also like yard art from Mexico and pottery and stuff. So there's still, like I said, always going to be like our culture into everything that we do.
Right.
So that way you get both, and nobody has to like
pick and choose.
Yeah. You get to go to both things, which is pretty cool. And we opened them a block from each other to make it easy for everybody to like go from one to another.
That's really cool.
So yeah, so it's our little logo thing is a little bit of everything for everyone, and I think that's exactly what it is, because we have everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So, for the business locally, you know, what's been one of your biggest support systems through the whole process of opening, coming in, you know, the community around you? What was all that like?
Social media, 100%. It's like if you're a small business and you are not utilizing social media, what are you doing?
Yeah.
How are you surviving? Because literally, and I think that's another reason too that my content creating, I got so into it, because I had to do it for two. I do all the social medias for Carolina's, so I'm very proud of that. But it definitely, because I would say like 70% of our clients are not from San Antonio.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, and I think it happened because of the pandemic. Because when the pandemic happened, we had to close. We were closed for months, and so we started doing live sales on Instagram and Facebook, and we got so many new customers, and all those customers have stayed and supported, and then when TikTok came around, and I was already on TikTok, I started a TikTok for Carolina's, which is, I think we're like at maybe 30 or 40,000 on there.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty good, because it's so hard to grow on TikTok.
It is.
And so we get a lot of clients from there that are not from here. So we have a lot of people that'll come in from out of town. They're like, I came all the way from so and so and so and so and so and so all the time. Or that have family here, and they'll tell their family and they'll bring them to the shop, and they'll be like, the family from here is like, I've never even heard of you guys. They're like, my sister came into town and she's like, we have to go to Carolina's, and I was like, what is that? So like, it's really crazy. It blows my mind, because I feel like we're pretty well known in San Antonio as it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's always obviously new people to find us. But yeah, definitely social media. If you're not utilizing social media, I mean, like, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
You know, you talked a little bit about the comment section and, you know, dealing with the, you know, the heat that you get from that.
Yeah.
You know, on a personal level, what is something that you wish you could tell somebody who is, you know, contributing to those negative comments, things like that?
It's kind of hard, right? Because I feel like everything's been said. Like, everybody knows that we're human beings with feelings, right? And you never know what somebody's going through. and how you could be like that last reason why somebody, doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
And that's a heavy thing to think of. And I just think that through a screen, you don't ever have to feel that heavy feeling, unfortunately. And I just think people should definitely like stop and think before they post and just ignore it. Like if you don't like it, scroll on or push not interested. There's no reason to. How many times something pops up on my feed and I'm like, this is not for me, and I just scroll on by or put not interested or move on with my life, because nothing is worth like getting upset over, getting angry over, saying something that you might regret, or just something that's not going to sit right in your soul. So that's like, be kind. And I know it's like the cheesiest thing to say, but it's truly like, that's it. Just be a kind person and go on about your day, or just don't say anything at all. Everybody's mom always says, if you can't say something nice, don't say something at all. And it's like, did we forget that? Like, I feel like everyone needs to put that in their bio to remind people, like, just don't say anything.
Right. I guess wrapping it up there so we can just dig in and finish these tacos. What's next for you? What's coming down the pipeline? Is there something that, you want to tell to our audience? What is something that you just want to share with everybody? It could be something you're doing. It could be something that you're excited, you have already done, whatever the case is.
Most things that are coming up for me is with Carolinas. We're going to be at Muertos Fest. So if you're going to Muertos Fest, check us out. We just released a new one of our shirt designs. We have so much more new merch coming out that my brother is going to design, that's designs for us, and we're excited about. So most of the things that are coming up are with Carolinas and the small business that is Carolinas and my family business. As a content creator, it's a struggle right now, especially in San Antonio for me, because I'm not the typical San Antonio content creator. So, I'm always open for, whatever is gonna happen for me. But yeah, that's it. Just keep an eye out on what's happening and what's going on, and, I'll be posting.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, this has been Taco Talk episode number 4. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see y'all next time.
Yes, bye.